Hey Matt, great question. So here I used a mouse macro program. So basically right now I'm running through some pre-recorded operations on a loop. So I'm just grabbing still images of my S scan there, and then I'm indexing the software forward one millimeter. So I just run through that, let that run for, I don't know, like about an hour. And then eventually I end up with a file with a bunch of images in it. And so this is, I call them stacks. These are, every single one is just an image of the S scan moving down the weld at 1 millimeter. So you go over to Slicer 3D and you go to add data. And then you're just going to choose one of those files, the first one. So navigate over there. A lot of attempts. So there's the data. I'm just going to grab the lowest one, hit OK. Show options, take off single file, and then hit OK. And then it's bringing in all those images into the software. So there they are. They popped up at the bottom there. Go over to volume render. Make sure it's not on this last option here. And then go and select a preset. And then now you can turn on the volume. So there's all the images. They're just stacked up in a big line. So now we'll go ahead and turn on that option. And it's I'm basically taking out the pixels I don't want to see. I can adjust this. But yeah, this is the volume rendered 3D data. There's a lot of tools in here and Slicer that you can do a lot of stuff. Little applications and plugins and stuff. But this software is open source medical software, so it's used to do a lot of things. But so to get the data, go over to segment editor, hit add segment, and go to threshold. And so now, if you look over at that side cut, anything that's green is going to come into our model. We don't want too much because it's just going to turn into solid objects. It's not going to be translucent. So go ahead and hit apply when you like the threshold you're at, and then click on 3D model, and it will generate our 3D model. And so the green stuff is the 3D model. We could turn off our volume render, and we got to get that angle selector cursor out of there. So go back to segment editor, get your scissor tool out, and just cut out the pieces you don't want. So once you're happy with it, you could export it as a STL or OBJ. Doesn't really matter either way. So we have our exported model. To turn it into a U3D file, that's a proprietary Adobe file format. You have to, I used Photoshop. I don't know if you can use, if there's any other softwares out there that can convert it to Photoshop, to a U3D file. So just open that file. And then there's our model in Adobe Photoshop. And now if we just right click on the layer over here, we can export it as a export 3D layer, and then just go select U3D, and then there you have it. You have a model ready to be inserted into a PDF. It's a little bit long, a little bit crazy, but that's what I did to get that data in there. I talked to some of the manufacturers, and they're talking about making an export for this kind of thing, for simpler stuff like corrosion mapping. But yeah, thanks for the question.